Hey guys, so today I'm going to do the review for Life of Pi by Jan Martel. I've been trying to do this video for like an hour now and I've been interrupted so many times by my dog, who's being the biggest pest she's ever been in ever. So I'm hoping that this time works. I'm really excited to do the review of this book because it was such a surprise to me. I did not think that I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, but I did, and I hope you guys like this review. So yes. This book is about a boy called Pi who lives in India with his mom, his dad, and his older brother Ravi. They own a zoo, and Pi therefore has a lot of experience with animals of all different kinds, and his father has taught him and Ravi many a lesson on how to behave around wild animals and never to forget that they are wild and you cannot necessarily tame a wild animal, for example a tiger. One day his parents decide that they're going to move to Canada, so they load a bunch of the animals onto a ship and sail off into the sea with the intention of leaving some of the animals with other zoos in the US and some of them in Canada, as well as just stopping by in Canada to drop themselves off. However, the ship sinks and Pi is left on a lifeboat alone, of at least human company, and he's left with a hyena, a zebra, an orangutan, and a Royal Bengal tiger, and his challenge is to survive for about 7 months on this lifeboat with wild animals who are pretty much made to eat him. Pi is 16 throughout most of the book. He's extremely religious and has decided that he's going to be a Christian, a Muslim, and a Hindu, all three of them at the same time, because he has that much love for God and just wants to embrace everything. He finds them all to be beautiful. He's a vegetarian, he's very kind, he's quiet, he's a simple-minded, not simple-minded in a bad way, but he's very simple, he's very peaceful and spiritual and just calm. When he's on the lifeboat with all of the animals, he realizes that he has an intense will to survive, something that he wouldn't have expected of himself. Pi's mother and father are not very religious, either one of them. They have no problem with Pi being religious, and they're just kind of like, hey, whatever you want to believe in, go for it. We're not going to tell you not to because it's your choice. His father is, of course, the zookeeper for the Pondicherry Zoo and is the one who's in charge of teaching them how to be safe around animals. His mother is just his mom. She's understanding, she's forgiving, she's everything good about a mom. Ravi is Pi's older brother who is constantly teasing him and messing with him, but they have kind of a very stereotypical good older brother, younger brother teasing relationship. They don't dislike each other, they enjoy each other's company. Mamaji, or Mr. Aydrubasami, I think I'm pronouncing that right, is the man who is the reason why Pi gets his name, which there is a story behind why he's called Pi, and I'm not going to explain it to you because that's part of the fun of reading the book. But he plays a very important part in Pi's life. And then we have Mr. and Mr. Kumar. One of them is the reason why Pi decides to join other religions and study religions later on in life, and the other one is the reason why he decides to study zoology later on in life, and they also both play a very influential part in his life. And then we have the animals. We have the zebra, we have the hyena, we have the orangutan, and of course the Royal Bengal tiger. So the writing style in this book was a very simple style. It reflected the way that people actually talk and tell stories. There were a lot of full stops in places that I felt were unusual to have a full stop in writing, but in speaking it made sense to me. If that makes sense to you, I'm not sure. But it had a very start, stop, start, stop, start, stop sort of pattern to it, which actually worked. It didn't feel weird, it didn't feel choppy or anything like that. It felt the way that I think it should have felt. It's very descriptive without the use of a whole bunch of poetic and super awesome words. It's just very descriptive in the most natural, easy way descriptive can be. When he describes the way that an animal that I have never heard of before or that I know under a different name, and so at first I'm like, well, I don't know what that animal is. When he describes the way that that animal looks, it paints a picture immediately in my mind. I'm like, oh, I know what that is, that's easy. He describes meerkats at one point and I'm like, that is the perfect description of a meerkat. I mean, I know what meerkats look like, but it was just the perfect description. So he has that kind of a writing style. The pacing, this is what kind of made this book difficult for me. There are 3 parts to the book. There's part 1 where we learn about who Pi is and where he lives in his life. We have part 2, which is Pi's struggle through life, on the lifeboat, and then we have part 3, which is what happens sort of after that, because obviously we start the book knowing that he did survive the lifeboat. We know that, otherwise he wouldn't be here to tell us the story. But part 1 was filled with a lot of different things, bits and pieces. It's like it didn't have a structure, it didn't have a pattern to what I was learning. He was just telling me about a whole different bunch of things that he thought was important for me to know. But I struggled through it. I really struggled through it. It was slow. It was like, okay, where's the actual story? I know that there's a tiger and a boat in here somewhere, and I kind of want to get to that part because I know that that part's the more interesting part. But it took a long time to get there, and it was all very interesting what he wrote. I just struggled to find the meaning of it. Why am I learning about sloths, you know, and all that kind of stuff? Which, by the way, sloths, I still don't know why he talked about them, because I do not see the relation later in the book, which with some things I did, but not with the sloths. As soon as I got to part 2, however, I immediately was like, oh, here we go, now it's gonna get interesting, and I just could not stop reading. Hi, Evie. I couldn't stop reading. I went to my aunt and uncle's house to make gingerbread houses, which I'm actually gonna show you my gingerbread house. It's awesome. I think I posted a picture of it on my on my most recent post on iamthepageboy.blogspot.com, which I will leave a link to as per usual in the comment in the description box below. But I actually took it with me to the house, and while all of the kids were making their houses, I was like, I have to finish the book, guys. I can't talk to you. And so that's kind of why I made the gingerbread house based on Life of Pi, because I just finished reading it and didn't know what else to do. But as soon as I got to part 2, it was like, bam, 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 I'm done with the book. It was, oh, it was so good. It was so good, guys. I cannot even begin to describe to you how much of a surprise it was that I liked this book, because this is the second time that I've started to read this book, and I was not expecting to enjoy it. I was like, this is gonna be hard, especially with part 1 being so difficult to get through. I was like, this is gonna be really difficult. I'm not gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be, It was amazing. It was so good. It was so good. And I have no interest in seeing the movie at all, ever, because it's gonna ruin the beautiful artistic mastery that is this book. It is so good, guys. So just leave me in a comment below what you guys thought of the book if you have read it. If you've seen the movie, comment below as well whether you think that I would still enjoy it and still want to see it, and if it's true to the book, because that's my biggest problem. Just if it's true to the book, then maybe I can read it. I like this edition of the book a lot. It's a nice, small, good sized paperback. I like the writing that's in it. I love everything about this edition. It's beautiful. The only thing I don't like about it actually is that it has one of those covers where like fingerprints will show on it, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, it's a great book and I highly recommend it. And I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 because this is absolutely a book that I would read over and over again, because I feel like it's one of those books that the more you read it, or the more times that you read it, the more you're gonna get out of it, because it's not one of those books that you can read once and be like, oh, I got everything that I can get out of that. No. I think I have to read this again, and I absolutely will. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'm going to grab my gingerbread house so you guys can have a quick look at that, and then I will talk to you later. Okay, bye. So this is my Life of Pi inspired gingerbread slash not gingerbread, aka, what are they called? Graham crackers. This is my little creation for Life of Pi. I made every single piece out of this that you can see. So over here, let's see if I'm gonna be able to do the focusing crap. So here are my little meerkats, aka gummy bears, and the algae island, and some fish in the pool of fresh water. And here is the little boat with Mr. Pi sitting on it. He's made out of black licorice and toothpicks and lost a leg because that was the only way that I could make it work. So there's Pi on the little boat, and there's the tiger because he's kind of the main animal. And oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how irritating it was to make this damn tiger, or Pi. Pi was impossible, as was the tiger. They were so annoying. So this is like pieced together out of a billion pieces of candy, and then I rolled it in like orange pixie sticks and all that kind of stuff. And there at the back is the little like box of stuff. and the boat. So yeah. And then this represents water somehow. I don't know. But anyway, that's it. Oh, and that's a tree. And there was another one right there, but my dog managed to get that and eat it. It did also have, it went right there. And there was another meerkat gummy bear there and another one in the tree. And she ate it. So I'm so sad. Anyway, so that's my little life of pie doobly doo. I hope you guys like it. I think it's awesome. It's very different for me. And then that's my pesky, pesky dog. Little pesky dog. Troublesome. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will talk to you guys later.